What up, y'all? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up in the shop. Been getting here a little earlier, but I've been working at another place too. And things are kind of still fighting with me, but hey, it is what it is. But anyways, I'm up in here. The Malibu, still haven't finished the frame notch on it. That Malibu, still haven't put the cross brace and everything in it. Oklahoma Cutlass, I started welding up the notch on this side, filling it in and shit. I ran out of 3/16 plate that I need to put on the side there so I can finish this up and then get on the other side. I haven't been able to pick it up. But anyways, yeah. Rear end is fabbed up for the Malibu. I know it's been there, been fabbed up. I had to clean up the shop again because it was dirty as hell. I had to cover up the billets that are for the Malibu, this Malibu. We got the Lorenzos on the front of this, which the back ones are by 11, so they're 12 overall, which is sitting over there for this. So trying to squeeze that up in there. Probably gonna have to do the tubs, or trying to stay away from doing the tubs, but probably gonna have to do the tubs. The Regal up here just came in today for me just to look at and see what's going on with the back. The owner said it was riding a little rough last year. It was smoother than this year, and trying to figure out what the deal was. And I noticed that the body bushings in the back are a little chewed up, and this one is gone. This one is, you can see there's no rubber. My finger goes right in there. So seeing a little scratch right here on the bumper filler. So that told me that, you know, the bumper, the body and shit is bouncing around. So that's not something I'm gonna do, but I told him he can find somebody or whatever that does that. You know, I'm strictly frame and custom suspension. So we were just going over some things, looking at some things, and I noticed how the coilovers are put in here, which whoever originally did it, the spring is bound on the cross brace right there. The braces, the shock tabs, if I could talk, they angle up. I don't know if you guys see that right there. It angles up, which should never angle up. They should be straight across or a little bit angled down, which these are at 12. The bar isn't as high as it should be. It should have been higher a little bit, but I use 10s on these cars. Like I said, this is a 12. We noticed that the spacers aren't in there, which these are clamped a little too tight. Just little stuff. It's got a trans leak, so it's got the underneath a little wet. He's gonna have that taken care of. But this coilover over here is rubbing the bracket, and when you put it on the ground, rubs the bracket. And again, with the shock up there, that's actually a mark on the metal inside there. That the spring is just, it's not sitting right, so it's kind of binding it up. These are a variable rate spring. So this is a 175 350. So the coils are tighter down here and fatter apart up here, which is something we used to use back in the day. We don't use these no more. So I use a 250 spring because the 250 spring works all the way around, with weight in the car, without weight in the car, shit like that, as long as you set the spring preload right. This coilover bottom, which, I mean, the lip is here, so this is on upside down, but that's just so you can lock it and the wrenches won't catch the teeth at the same time. Not a big deal, but, you know, there's no anti-roll. Lower control arms are double adjustable. Upper control arms are stationary, but they're just a little squeaky. I mean, it's in a good position, but nobody ever greased it, so I can grease that. If you guys look at the torque box right there, you can see the torque box is bent up. That tells you the car's got some power. I mean, it is an LS, so, you know, they got some power. So I'm gonna put a little brace set up behind this area to try to get it to stop flexing up. These are some big mufflers on here, so to do a ladder bar cross member and stuff like that. I don't have time for it right now, but I'll just do, you know, some bracing back here. Tie this together. It'll help. It won't be perfect, but it'll help. So yeah, little stuff like that. I believe this is a Rick's tank right here, which of course is the shit. It probably shouldn't be rubbing right there. That tells me something might be moving, but I'm not sure. But yeah, 9-inch. This car is tubbed. The tub work in it, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember this car from years ago, a few years back. I think it used to be yellow. But anyways, the color offset he did, I think it's pretty cool. And he didn't go overboard with it. You know, the handles, the wheels, the handles, the hood ornament, shit like that. But the chrome offset with it, pretty cool. Caliper is a little clock, a little far. I mean, it's more towards the front than towards the back. So at first glance, it's like, why is it that far? And then when you start looking underneath here, you can see that the control arm box is right here. So if this was back here more like what we do, or what I do, it would hit. So that's why I do the super drop boxes and then run the coilover bracket off the back of the box. So the tailpipes on bolt right here. I'm gonna take the tailpipes off because obviously to put the anti-roll in there, which needs the anti-roll. So those gotta come off, and then they can be rebent, or, you know, they can leave that piece, turn it a little bit, do whatever, you know. Real exhaust shop guys out there, which is what was done here, they know what they're doing. And guys that do exhaust, you know, they know what they're doing. But yeah, you can see the mess that I already made on the floor. So what we were noticing is that it was either the line was leaking on the trans, or it was coming out the breather. And it looks like it's coming out the breather. So something's wrong with the trans or something. I don't know. I'm not a trans guy. I'm a custom suspension and frame fabrication guy. A lot of people get that confused. And just because I post pictures and post videos of stuff doesn't mean that I did the work. And I never claim work that's not mine. There's plenty of videos that anybody out there puts up, and I get paid for IG reels. I mean, it's not that much. I obviously get a couple dollars off of YouTube, a couple dollars off of Facebook reels. So I'm gonna put up videos. If a car's in my shop, I'm gonna put up videos. If a car was in my shop, if a car's outside, whatever. It's just like anybody. Somebody that's a video guy, they go and take videos of cars. Just because they took videos don't mean that they did work to the car. And someone was saying that this little bitty trans cooler is not big enough for a 4L80. I don't know. I mean, probably is right. So maybe that is what's got the trans messed up, but I'm not sure. You can't quote me on that. So for anybody out there, I do believe you do need a bigger trans cooler than that. I know all the stuff we've done for years, I'd always run a bigger one. You can see the springs have been in there a while, but the control arms are new. The bolt here to me looks like a 5/8 bolt, which normally this is a 1/2 inch hole. These are Viking coilovers, double adjustable, so the hole that's in them is a 5/8 hole. But you put an insert in there that changes it from a 5/8 hole you know, it's like a sleeve, and it changes it from a 5/8 hole to a 1/2 inch hole. So the arm was obviously drilled out for that to go in there. So, I mean, as long as it's tight, if the hole was drilled to 5/8, the shock I know is 5/8, 5/8 bolt, and there's no banging right here. I've moved the car up and down. I don't hear no banging. You just hear the bushings. That's never been greased. That's never been greased. But there is some grease underneath here. Right there's a big old wad of grease. Little thing. So he pushed down on the car. It makes a little, you know. So I'll probably go through and grease it for him. Sway bar, never been greased. I mean, there's a lot of things that, you know, you can do to cars and stuff like that. And depending on what you got going on, you know, you can forget about some things, overlook some things, you know, shit happens, especially like me being one guy in the shop. It's happened. And I try not to overlook things, and that's why I've been chill now and just trying to stay calm and trying to figure everything out and keeping the negative energy away from me, you know, the people that just want to use the shit out of me. So I don't need none of that no more. And do all this myself. And I'm still only behind on one car, the Oklahoma Cutlass. And it's like a headache, but it's not. I mean, it's just, if you guys have watched the videos, you've seen it. And I just gotta take a notepad and write everything down, and then just slowly start, what's it called? Micromanage. Write everything down, figure out things, make a to-do list for just like today, you know, tomorrow, whatever, and just start knocking things off. But I am trying to get this frame done. So I got to get that 3/16 plate so I can get that all welded up and get the front frame all cleaned up, get it painted. I got the control arm sitting right back there in the box. Boom. So I can get that on there. Yeah, it'll look good. The spindles, like I said, are in the back of it. They're already cut and all that and painted for the brakes. So, anyways, Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I know I haven't been on here much recently. Still dealing with some bullshit that I shouldn't be dealing with, but anyways, Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. The Regal up there looking good. So, trying to take the little stuff, the in and out work, quick stuff, and not trying to get stuff that is in and out, meaning it comes in, I look at it, and if it's too much work, then it's too much work, and I'm not going to do it, you know. But littler stuff like this one, like I said, change the coilovers over, change where it mounts to the top, make them come off the back with the short tabs. So instead of the coilover being in front, being wedged in there, I'll come off the back. They'll be on a little bit of an angle, and they'll be 10, so they'll be shorter, so boom. So I'll put this thing back on the ground, and I'll measure the height, boom, boom, on both sides, boom, because he wants it back to where it was, which is fine. It's gonna go right back to where it was. This car doesn't have an anti-roll, like I said, and he said, like, going down the road, you can feel like the ass end, like, walking around. So with bending up on the torque boxes and no sway bar, it will feel like the ass end's like walking, like if you're wiggling your ass in the seat, you know, like the ass end of the car wants to go left and right. So hopefully a little more knowledge, dropping a little more knowledge, all the things I've experienced over the years. I had a Malibu back in the day in '81 when I was 16, and I had a 305 in it with a big cam and stall and 373 gear and shit like that, and had some Corvette rallies on it. And you'd go flying down the road, and you'd feel the ass ends just start like you wiggle, like you're wiggling your ass in the seat. And I never knew what it was. I think that's what they call a G-body shuffle. But maybe, I mean, I had it at the track, ran like 13 something, but it was back in the day. But all right, y'all, my heat's gonna turn on. Y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me. But yeah, still in here, still working. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. What up? What up? What up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. Got this 96 Impala SS finally done. Got them 7-inch lips on there. Them SD4s. Sandman wheels, you know. Custom fitted. Got that 9-inch motor rear end in it. So on this car, guys, they originally ordered the rear end 3 inches narrower on each side. I know before I thought it was like 2 inches, but it ended up being 3 inches. Well, the studs ended up being too short, so I had to swap the studs out for some 3-inch studs. They ordered press in. I prefer screw in. I had to cut the ends off the housing to clock the housing to get the caliper to sit lower in the back. But you guys can see all that clean ass work. Look at them frame rails. I've been doing them frame rails like that for years. Here's another thing about the back of the car. I have the molding on there. Yeah, you can see I had to trim the molding right there in front, towards the front of the car. But the molding's on there. If you look at most of the cars that are out there with a 6 on it, on the Impala SS, they get rid of the back molding. Only one car I ever had to do to get rid of the back molding. It was a white Chevy Caprice bubble, and it had 28s on it. So there you go. Wasn't no narrow or anything like that. Took it for a test drive last night, me and Big Lou. You know, we some big boys, so we was in it, rolling. It drives straight down the road. It rides smooth as shit. No scrubbing, no rubbing. This wheel looks like it's farther forward, but if you look at the gaps on the back of the tire, both the gaps are the same. But you know how these cars look anyways with the rear end farther forward. I can't really move the rear end back anymore because the drive shaft that's currently in it is too short for the 9-inch setup. So there's just enough in the trans for it to work, but it's going to get the motor swapped. It's getting the LS, all that good shit. So they're gonna have to put a drive shaft in the correct length and all that. And who knows what trans he's gonna go with and where it's gonna sit. Obviously the 700 that's in this thing is not gonna stay in it. Ain't no 700 holding up to the power of an LS motor. But yep, 96 Impala SS, full custom suspension, full frame cleaning, painted, big ass brakes in the front, Willwood, Todd TCE Performance, 16-inch brakes, big ass calipers, got some QA1 uppers, QA1 lowers, all the new steering components. It's a beautiful car. Inside is totally redone. You see the name. Chicago. Chicago, Chicago. But yeah. So basically, to put a 7-inch lip in this wheel, I'm gonna say with this wheel, 7-inch lip on this car. Well, yeah, that side looks the same. But you can see. Anyways, 2.5 inches of narrow from stock. 2.5 inches of narrow from stock on each side. So 5 inches overall. If you guys are ordering a rear end, you want to bolt the 9-inch in. This one, of course, was all fabbed up in there, the boxes and all that. But if you want to get one that just bolts in to bolt the 7-inch lip right on it, 2.5 inches on both sides is perfect. 5 inches overall narrow. This is custom welded in, coilovers in the back. You guys, there's plenty of videos on this car. Plenty of videos on this car. It took a little more time than needed, but I made sure everything was nice and smooth and sweet. This car I was able to do basically a little stress-free. A little stress-free. Less stress than normal. But it's badass. And this little video right here, I'll get you guys a video of it driving around the parking lot. As you can see, my kid is in there. But I'm gonna give myself a couple minutes because I was sniffling a little bit because it's cold as shit out here. And my fingertips, here, my fingertips, dirty ass nasty fingers, they pretty damn cold. But all right, y'all, here's this little video. And I'll be up with another one next. Appreciate y'all. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm out. What up? What up? What up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. 96 Impala SS. Yes, I know. A lot of videos on it. But it's almost ready to be bolted up. Got them SD4s, Sandman Designs, 26s. Got that 7-inch lip for the back. Rear end is all fabbed up. I just painted it all. I just painted, scuffed, clean, painted the whole underneath of the car. You see the black dust on the floor. I had the whole shop full of fumes. But y'all are gonna like this. What's it say right there? Let me get you, look at that, Bankroll Tim. I got a lot of those plates left over. I decided to stick one on there. But, so, cross braces up in there, anti-rolls up in there, everything's painted, everything's welded, everything's fabbed. I reclocked the ends, re-welded them, of course. Look at that, I got no problem showing bad spots. Oh, it's still a little sticky, but it's just when I came up and stopped, that must have been where I had to tack when I put the end on. But anyways, cut the fill off, like I said. I filled the hole in. I put a washer inside of it so that way it wasn't too thick. I don't know how close the gear goes to it, but I got that welded up, filled in, boom. Waiting for it to dry. I had the heat kicking in here. Waiting for it to dry so I can start bolting it back up. But yeah, I can get the pig installed. I gotta put all the bolts that go in the pig, hold the pig on. There's like a stud that's got the knurl on one side, it's blind. So I gotta get all those in, press them in, boom. Then I can bring the center section over here, well, put the control arms and everything on it, set it back up, boom. Get the center section, the pig, the third member, put it all in there, and start putting it together. Bolt it all up. I got the brake lines today, 30-inch brass, copper, whatever you call them, so that way you can fit them real nice. So this thing is very, very, very close. What's today? Thursday? Today's Thursday. So I'll bolt up some of this tonight. Be able to bolt up the rest of it tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a little bit longer to dry. Bolt it up, seal it up, get the axles and everything in it, get the gear lube and all that in it, get it set down on the ground and start setting the height. Set the rear end where I want to set it front to back, you know. I was gonna sit in the wheel well at the height I wanted to sit. My son worked on his car. We put the rear end in it. Not the rear end that's gonna stay in it, but the 96 Impala SS rear end that came out of the green one behind me. We bolted it up in there with the double adjustable upper and lower control arms. You know, 308 gear, posi, boom, disc brakes. Just something for now, so that way we can hopefully get it running and driving. With just the big block in there, regular exhaust, no turbos on it yet. Get the car running and driving. But anyways, again, nothing else done to the 81. My son started to work on it yesterday. Oh, he took the back shocks off. Back shocks and springs out of it. So I guess it did get something else done to it. Grand Prix, like I said, it's getting dirty. It's got paint dust on it. It's got grinding dust on it, everything. But anyways, I'll have it all wiped off. Blown off first, not just wiped off. But yes, the 96 Impala SS will come off there. Get it all done, boom. The Grand Prix right here will be going. These are 26s. That's 8-inch lip, 7-inch lip, 8-inch lip, whichever, on there. This one will be going up on there. As you can see, it has stock brakes on it. We got the Willwood sitting in the boxes, ready to go on it. So that way, this Grand Prix can get done and go bye-bye. The Impala will be bye-bye. Trying to get set on putting this front end together, notching it out. I gotta get time on this, you know, with the holidays and stuff like that, and me being able to get caught up. I mean, come on, I'm down to 6 cars. That's pretty damn good. Me by myself, and having to do extra stuff that had, you know, nothing to do with me. But I'm in here every day, every day. But yeah, SD Forged. Same man designs, some 26s. Booyah. All right, y'all. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. What up? What up? What up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. Still on the 96 LS. Showing y'all what I'm doing with narrowing, or cutting ends off, clocking the ends down. So you can see, there's my narrowing bar right there. It's got the outside pucks. I got the end on it. I figured out where I want it. It's a little bit of a gap on this side. I'm gonna double measure. I think I hit it when I was putting the other side in. But as you can see, there's the 9-inch empty pig right there. And then you can see inside there, you can see the puck. So there's a puck on that side, there's a puck on the other side, boom. And that holds the true center line, you know what I'm saying? Boom. I twisted the ends, that's why looks like it's a little off, because when I cut it, my cuts weren't perfect. You don't have to worry about your cuts being perfect, because you're gonna line it all back up. You're gonna do your measurements and all that. And then when you tack it, stuff like that. But these are the pucks that are 9-inch. This bar setup is Mittler Brothers. It's like $900 for this bar setup. It comes with all the outside pucks, inside pucks. I'm trying to hold this light and do it. But anyway, anti-roll, boom, coilers, boom. I still haven't cut this off. I'm gonna cut the fill off right there. And again, it doesn't need it. Yeah, I mean, seriously, how would you get up in there to pour the oil in there anyways? So, but it's gonna be close to the anti-roll, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Boom, bam. So, took a minute to cut the ends off. I just used the Sawzall on that, which I use that DeWalt Sawzall battery, and it wore out my battery pretty fast. Let the blade do the cutting. When you do the cutting, I use DeWalt cutoff wheels. I use DeWalt Sawzall, DeWalt impact, DeWalt Sawzall blades. Boom. But yes, 7-inch lip, SD Forged. You can see right back over there. Booyah. Trying to get this one done. I know I got a lot of time in it, and then I got a lot of time not in it, because I got so much other shit going on that I'd be trying to take care of. So, but just wanted to show you guys this, so that way you guys didn't think I was bullshitting. But as you can see now, you can see the clock. This one, I put a center line just so I can measure the line to see how far I clocked it down. So this side gives me the idea, because this is the side that I had the caliper on. So it's like 1 inch. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. This would be I'll tack this side where I want it, boom. And then I'll put my degree wheel on these edges, and I'll see what this degree says on this side, and then I'll transfer that degree to that side. So that's why that side doesn't really have a line or anything on it. Just a yellow mark for front and back. Boom. But yeah, I cut on the inside of the weld, because there's a race inside there that holds that bearing. And like I said, see, my cut wasn't perfect at all. It was crooked. The blade's a 6-inch blade, and then when you're trying to cut on that fatter, you know, the guard is on this side and on that side, and you're trying to keep it straight, and the blade walks. But again, the cut doesn't have to be perfect, because you're gonna line it back up, bevel the edges. I beveled the edges, as you can see, so that way when I weld it back together, boom. But all right, y'all, I'm on it. I'm on it. 96 Impala SS, Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm up in here, tripping on everything. Front wheel is on it. You can see it's close to the front bumper area, which will get trimmed just a little bit. But when the car sits down, the suspension actually goes up towards the back. You know what I'm saying? Then it centers the wheel when it's up there. So I did that little underside nick here because these fenders like rolled straight under. So I got rid of that because obviously, you know, with the turning, it turns into there. Boom. Some people say, oh, you didn't have to do that. Oh, this, that. Oh, wait. Okay. So those cars that are not cut, quote, when you see them in person, if you see them in person, you'll see if they're not cut, the tires rubbed into place or whatever. Anyways, I just want the car to be 100 when it goes out, drive down the road, and turn the steering wheel and get full turn, not be rubbing plastic or anything. You know, do it one time, not have to do it again. But all right, y'all, Bankroll Tim, bet it up. This is right now, well, today. But yep, I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Peace out. Got my son in there, a little bet it up, a little bankroll. He's gonna drive around the parking lot, shit like that. But she be riding. And like I said, me and Big Lou, we was up in there. I'm 275 pounds. And Big Lou, he up there too. So it wasn't rubbing. And I know I said before that the sounds were in this, but the sounds are not in this. But that back end sitting that low, there's not a scrub, there's not a rub, nothing. No noise. I got the Viking coilovers set at 7 on compression and 14 on rebound. So I've been having better luck with these cars at a higher rebound with better riding, just like Juan's twin turbo dunk set his rebound up pretty high, and his car is riding way better. So, but just showing you guys, you know, I mean, it's got full turn, as you see right there, and it's got that custom alignment. You see the wheel lean when it's turning. Boom. No rubbing. Yes, I did trim the front of the tire on the bumper, and I had to trim on the back side. These fenders roll under the car, so with it being rolled under, you know, when the wheel would turn, it would hit it. And then you got the e-brake cable on the driver's side that goes right behind the left wheel well. So the cable pushes that wheel well out some, you know, they make more room for it. But I turned around, obviously I cut it up a little higher, but everything's all cleaned up. Wheel wells are all cleaned up, everything's painted up, hole underneath the car is cleaned up. But yeah, that boy tucking pretty good. I know the one pictures I have of it sitting down. On wheels on with the car sitting down with the wheel tucked up in there. Obviously there was no rear end in the car, and for it to sit that low, the actual part of the rear end behind the backing plate would actually touch the rear end. So in order to sit that low, it would need some other framework, custom frame setup. See if I can get the whole passenger side, just like I just did the driver's side. But I mean, everything's clean, real clean. I like to do real clean work. Been doing it, but now I just take the time to make everything cleaner. These back wheels are by 10, which is 11 overall. So this car has a 3/4 spacer on the back, so if he wanted to go with an 8-inch lip, he could put an 8-inch lip on there, depending on if the back lip can be smaller than the one that's on here. You know what I'm saying? It would basically move the center of the wheel in an inch. You would add an inch to the outside and shorten up an inch on the inside, however the barrels work. Whoever deals with that, I know. But yeah, I mean, I know this is just parking lot pimping right here, but just showing you guys over all the bumps and everything, how everything goes. Everything's smooth as hell, real smooth. Full turn, it's all there. I'm gonna call dude here in a minute. Call dude in a minute, have him come get it. I already called him yesterday, he know. Took it to the car wash last night, cleaned it up, brought it back in the shop. I put some spray wax on it. There were some spots that were just dirtier than the rest. Well, yeah, there we are. Another one rolling. He said he'd taken it to go put a motor and stuff in it, a drive shaft to get lengthened, and it'll come back, you know, a little adjustment depending on motor wise. You know, this got the LT1 in it, weight wise to the motor, and if he's putting the LS in it, this and that, if it changes weight, if it's lighter, the front of the car is going to come up a little. If it's heavier, the front of the car is going to go down a little. So then I'll be able to readjust everything. And again, with the back, it's got a little bit of a negative pinion right now, which is fine, but a little more than I normally set it at. But I cannot adjust the rear end back anymore without the drive shaft coming out of the trans. So the drive shaft is seriously only in the trans about a ½ inch right now. So he knows he needs a drive shaft. There was no sense in getting a drive shaft made now when he's going to change the motor. Obviously, you guys understand that. But all right, y'all, there it is. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up Kustoms, Impala SS, 96, 26-inch, 7-inch lip, SD4s, rolling. Big ass brakes. We're about to talk today when he gets here about the back, because he wants to upgrade the back to a bigger setup than what is on there, because obviously you can't see the back. But all right, y'all, Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm out. What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm up in here. Second video for today. Bet It up, Bet It Up. 96 Impala SS. So, there I go, tripping on shit. So, the back wheel, as you can see, I'm still tripping on shit. It's all good. I didn't prep for this. All right, so it's on there. Boom. The wheel could be moved back, but where the wheel is sitting at right there, okay, it is pretty far in there. Now, this is off of somebody else's measurements, not off of mine, so that's pretty far in there. But the farther back it is in there when it's on the ground. Let me step up on my step here. Booyah. So, you know, you see the car more this way. You don't see it from the angle of looking up at it. You see the angle from looking down at it. So, anyways, I can still adjust the rear and back a little bit, this and that, but showing everybody what I did, what I'm talking about. So, boom. So you can see right there, there's the caliper, and there's the frame at the height that's at right now. So what I'm talking about with clocking the ends. So I'm gonna end up cutting the end off, putting my narrowing bar back in the housing, so that way I can cut the end off right at this weld, and I'll be able to clock this down, which will bring this caliper down here. So then the travel of it, it won't go and hit the frame. I'm not gonna do a frame notch on it just for that. So now here's the other thing. As you got anti-roll, you see how the anti-roll's in there? Boom. Comes off of there. Boom. Now look at the fill for the pumpkin. Okay, so right now, there's about 2.5 inches right there. So if this is ride height, it could, on a decent bump, it could go and bam, hit there. So I'm gonna cut this off and plate this hole in. Because besides that, you got the bump out over the rear end, which will still, you know, this is basically gonna be ride height where it's at. You can see the rear end is at a -3 on the pinion, which is fine. You can see that when I put the boxes on, I angled them towards the back. And the reason I angled these towards the back is because you end up running into problems with the coilover, the spring hitting here. If these were, you know, twisted underneath more, clocked underneath more, the spring ends up hitting here, because these cars are so tight to deal with. When you put that cross brace in there and the anti-roll setup, it's just a pain in the ass. So that, with that cut off, it doesn't need it. I did check the pig, and the pig, you know, is the front section that goes in here with the gear and everything on it. It does have a fill right on that side that I'll be able to get to. It takes 3 cords, 2.5 cords, whatever it takes. But Another thing that I don't like with these housings is this one takes a seal inside here. Where normally the one I like is when the bearing goes on here, it has an O-ring on the outside of the bearing that seals it. I hate the one with this inside. I hate it. So now that's where we're at is, okay, yeah. The other thing is, if you see on the back of the rim here, you see I got one 1/4 inch spacer, 2 1/4 inch spacers. This 1/4 inch spacer is to represent the rotor. This 1/4 inch spacer obviously needed to clear the frame. So that's very, very tight to the frame. So I could possibly get away with putting another 1/4 inch spacer on there. We have the ET lug nuts. I wanted these ETs to not be capped. I wanted these to be open. But the back, when they ordered the axles, they only got these little studs and they're 1/2 inch by 20, but they're not threaded all the way to the outside. So the ET lug nut, this is an ET chrome cap lug nut. What the hell did I do with the other ones right here? So, all right, here we go. So this one right here is the 12mm 1.5. I wanted these to be for the back 1/2 inch by 20. And then the other ones are 1/2 inch by 20, which are on the back. And I wanted these to be vice versa. So I'll probably change that around because I want to be able to see in the end of it to see how much thread is on there. So worst comes to worst, what I'm going to have to do here with this now, see, this is all custom. So with this now is the studs are probably going to need to be changed to bring the wheel out a little bit more because I'm afraid the rim will end up hitting the frame, but maybe not. But I mean, that's pretty damn close. And right now the axle's hanging on the bearing. So anyways, you can move it off. But that's where we're at. That's what I was talking about with clearance issues and all that. So Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up Kustoms. Got you guys a second video for today. So that way I can keep going on this thing. But all right, y'all. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. What up? What up? What up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. Still busting on this 96 Impala SS. I got the rear end in there. Got it all fabbed up. Got it all welded up. Like I said, I don't hide nothing. I don't hide nothing. Those are my welds. Boom. Put a brace across the back. Boom. Weld into the center. I put it behind the housing instead of under it. Just do things different. You got the drain plug underneath there. Got Jello Joe. Oh, she's crazy. Anyways, so with the anti-roll up here, this is why I like to get the rear ends ordered on welded. Like, I don't want the ends welded on. I don't want these coil spring brackets. The ears are the only things I want on there. So when you guys are ordering this stuff. Now look, you got the fill right here. I'm gonna have to cut this fill off because with the car sitting at a nice little squat, the anti-roll comes off the bottom of the cross brace and it hits it. So I don't want the car to be driving down the road and that little bit of travel, bang, 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 hit it. So I'm gonna cut this off. I'm pretty sure there's a fill on the pig, but I'm gonna check that first. And if not, I'm gonna turn around and put the fill like right here. So I'll put this back on right here. But I don't know why they put it on so high, why they put it where the gear's at, so you can look in there and see the gear, I don't know. But that's the only thing I don't like. And when I say to order the things unwelded, I want the rear end completely unwelded. The axle tubes, of course. This welded in, boom, the bare tube all the way out. Don't put the ends on it. And yeah, the ears I want on there. This, as you can see, pinion angle's a little positive right now, which is fine where the height is. When it sits down, it comes down a little bit. But the clocking of the end, I'm gonna have to cut the ends off anyways. Put my narrowing bar in there just to clock the ends down some. But I'm gonna set the backing plate on it, the axle in it, put the brake rotor together, put the caliper on there, and see how much clearance I have to the frame. If it clears the frame, I won't have to clock it. If it doesn't clear the frame, the caliper doesn't clear the frame at the height I want to be at, then I'm gonna clock the end. And I also want to put the wheel on to see exactly where the wheel's gonna sit here. Like I said, this is 3 inches narrower per side than stock. So with the 7-inch lip wheel, I need to see exactly where it's at. If it's sitting in, cool. If it's not in enough, I'm gonna narrow it some more. So yeah, that's what's going on. I've been busting in the shop on that. There's the anti-roll. This one came unpainted, powder coated, whatever, which it don't matter, because after putting it all in there, I got to paint it up. Shop's a mess. No more work done to the 81 yet. And of course, some big ass brakes around there. I think there was some other thing. Oh, I had to get some more paint. So once I set this up, what I'm gonna do right now, what I was just saying, set the wheel up on there, set the excellent and all that. I'm gonna pull the rear end down and paint it after I figure out everything and do the extra work that I gotta do. Paint it all up so that way I'll be able to bolt it all back up. So hopefully here in the next couple days, I will have this thing ready to sit down and start totally adjusting it. But just showing you guys all that fab work. Them double adjustable uppers and lowers, them adjustable boxes, all the welds, the cross brace, and then how the anti-roll comes off the cross brace. Boom. There's pictures of it on my IG. IG is Bet It Up Kustoms. I put a lot more pictures on there than anything. I don't really get on Facebook too much anymore. A little bit here and there, but main thing is IG and YouTube. Bet It Up Kustoms. All right, y'all, that's what I got for you today. Maybe I'll get you some more later. It's actually not bad out today. So that's why I opened the door, better lighting. But yeah, also you can see how much I painted. I painted all up in there before doing this fab work. So the rear end was out of my way, scuffed everything up, sat there painting. So when I do have the rear end out of it, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more coats on the outside of the frame rail. A couple little dry spots. But yeah. All right, y'all. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. And I'm out. Appreciate y'all.
What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. Here's that G-Body Bonneville, y'all. 22s. Back got an 8-inch lip. So it's 22 by 10, about 11 overall. The front I think is only by like 8. Got a fat ass tire on the back. I think it's a 295. 25, 22. Did this car a couple years ago. Been changing a couple things on it here and there. Front still got stock suspension on it, which we're gonna be changing that up. But we were hearing some noise in the back, and frame tail's got a little damage to it. You know where the body mounts are on the right side, so I'm probably gonna do a 2-frame rail setup in the back on both sides, but not now. We just adjusted a couple things on it. I trimmed the back lips a little more. He had gotten different chrome trim, or put them back on, and they had hit a little bit. That grill right there, everybody's asked me about. I'm not sure where he got the grill, where he had it made, but pretty tight. I think this thing is an 86 Pontiac Bonneville. Got an LS in it, 5.3. Narrow rear end, notch frame, anti-roll, coilovers in the back. It's all set up real nice, real nice. Tucking that wheel for a 22. It actually comes out to like 8 1/4 inch lip. What we were trying to do, I got a 3/4 spacer on both sides from when I originally did this setup. So what we were trying to do is send the wheels back to billet and have them move the center of the wheel back to 3/4 of an inch. That way we can get rid of the spacer, and then it would have 9-inch lip. So that's hopefully one thing that, you know, can get done soon. I'm outside right now. Wind's probably making noise and shit. But it's a clean ass car, man. Got the matching steering wheel. Yes, the other video before, the back wheels were on backwards, which I never noticed before, and I think somebody had said it in one of the older videos. But today, when I had both back wheels off, when I put it back on, at the last minute, I was like, you know what, I better change these back around. I changed it back around because the tires are not directional. But man, this thing is nice. Clean as hell. Interior's all done. Boom. Real nice car. Very nice car. Got that 3-stage roof in it. Real nice. Details with the Pontiac emblem on it. It's actually a beautiful car. I like this car. Got the painted on. Cleared over. Decal. But yeah. This thing's pretty nice. Pretty raw. I think it's the cleanest G-body Bonneville out there, out here, however you want to say it. All right, y'all. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. This is right now today, Friday the 29th, 30th, whatever the hell it is today. And yeah, there we go. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out. What up? What up? What up? Bankroll Bet It Up. Saturday night. I'm in the shop. I'm over here on this Impala SS doing this frame notch, rear frame notch. Kicking my ass. I already got a burnt thumb from weld slag. My welder just overheated because it's only just a 180 Lincoln. Can't do that continuous welding. Anyway, booyah, booyah, booyah. Look at grinding discs. I chew through those. Cut off wheels, I chew through those. See all that metal on the floor? Last night I cleaned it up. But here we go. Booyah. So, cut the plate out. Cut the plate out. What I was saying with the weld, you want to leave a gap and you want to be able to weld it to where you can get away with if you can lay it clean enough, but the undercoat on the back of this and the stock debris and all that on the back of this, when you get it hot, it runs down into the weld, boogers it up kind of. I mean, not too bad, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with all the dirt and shit on here, but you want it to fill, you want to have a gap and you want to fill it in, and then you can round it off with the grinder. You don't want to, it's a soft wheel grinder. You don't want to dig into it to where it's going to end up cracking. So right here, I had a nice gap that I filled in, so then I was putting like a factory edge back on it. So here is going to have a 3/16 plate of metal that's going to go over this area, so it won't have a step to it. It'll just have a nice smooth round edge to it. But 3/16, so what is this, like 4.5 by probably like 2.5. I have a nice weld down this side, nice weld down this side, fill the bottom in, fill the top in, boom. The back, same thing. You know, it's a pretty big step right there. But I'm gonna go from here, which is, just laid back a little bit. So I might cut this just a little bit more to get it to go back some, but I'll have it smooth. I mean, you'll notice this a little bit more than the front side, but anyway, so if you look at how much frame rail, and it's gonna have the cross brace and all that. And if you look over here, if you can see it, you see the thickness of that, how much I took off. I took a lot off. Didn't need much because, you know, here's the inner tub. And then, you know, this is like right with it. So this can be tapped in just a little bit, but you can see I've been tapping on a little bit. Little hits, little hits, little hits. Warms up the metal, lets it flex a little bit. And of course. But I already test fit the wheel on the other side in the other video. You've seen that. And the wheel sits in there good. And it was hitting the frame, and the frame was sticking out past this. So we'll have the clearance that we need, that I need. Boom, but yeah. Rear frame notch. Impala SS. 24 by 12. Trying to get her done. Trying to get her done. Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up Kustoms. I'm working. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.